Anything is possible. You can remove all obstacles. Anything is possible. Together we are unstoppable.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Self-Investment Academy podcast. So today's episode is going to be a little bit different. It's a special podcast today. I've recently become a co-host on a radio show, which is called Talk is Cheap on 92.5 FM, The X. This is the second episode of the show that's going to be on today's podcast. And it's just, the radio show is pretty much what my podcast is about. It's about motivating and tools and just trying to help people become the best version of themselves. And it's a great opportunity for me that I'm really excited about to be on the radio show. And it's just a great chance for a better variety and a bigger audience out in the world to hear my message and now co-host Nolan Chapman's message as well. So as this is a radio show, there is music that's cut into it. So I did cut that out and I just replaced it with 10-second snippets of music. Honestly, I hope you enjoy this style of interview with me and Nolan. And I may create a new segment on this podcast, and which is going to might be called Talk is Cheap Tuesdays. And if you guys are interested in that, let me know. Send me a message on Instagram or on Facebook or whatever. And I'd be more than happy to upload the radio show on my podcast for you guys to listen. It is a little bit longer, but I'm guarantee you guys will love this style as it's more of an interview type. And just give it a chance, listen to the entire thing, and let me know what you guys think. Today's episode is about consistency, and here it is. Enjoy.
I'm back here with episode 2 of Talk is Cheap. And I have Bryce Dhillon here. Oh, sorry. What was the name there?
It was Dhillon.
Dhillon, okay, yeah. So for you guys listening, that last week I was pronouncing his name wrong, and he made that very apparent off air. So Bryce Dhillon, not Bryce Dhillon, not Bryce Dhillon, Bryce Dhillon. Remember the name. So this week's topic is going to be how to be consistent. We're going to be talking with Bryce, do some strategies of how to be consistent, working on your goals. So, Bryce, what does it mean to be consistent to you?
It's just continuing to do whatever task or goal you have consistently. So always doing it, even when it's rough patches, you're still working on it. You're still every day you're working towards it. You're working. There's never a point that just because something goes wrong, you're not giving up. It's just continuously working towards that goal or task or project.
Yeah. So what happens if I end up getting in not such a great mood? Maybe I get upset or something doesn't go my way. How am I going to stay consistent even when I'm not in the mood? Like when you get in that bad frame of reference, like that bad state of mind.
Yeah, everyone has bad days. Everyone has a bad week or whatever. But I think the biggest thing is you have to write down your goals. Okay. Write down those goals so if you are having a bad day, that you can look back at those goals and see why you're doing this. You got to, if you have it physically written down, people always say, oh, my goals are in my head.
Right.
But no, you need to look at them. Have it on your wall. I have a goal card, so in my wallet, I have all my goals written down.
Oh, that's smart.
Also have it written down on a piece of paper or printed off, so it's in my office. So I'm looking at that every morning. Every morning I wake up, I look at my goals. So as soon as you wake up, that's the first thing you should be doing, looking at your goals so you're motivated for that day.
So you're starting out in a good mindset.
Exactly. So then throughout the day, if you have something bad come up, open up your goal card, exactly, and then you'll look at that, and then it'll re-motivate you.
That kind of puts you back on track, on kind of gets the feel back where your end goals are something that you have to work on now as well. It's like not just blow it off one day, like I'll start the next day. It's more like always trying to be focused, something like that.
Exactly, like every day you should be doing something towards those goals you have written down. That's why don't expand too much on your goals. Don't have 30 of them. Pinpoint, say like 2 or 3 that you want to get done, and after you're done those, then you can move on. But pinpoint down your goals to like maximum, I'd say, is 5, and work towards those every day. You should be having a block of time that should be towards those end goals.
Mm-hmm. So how often do you revisit your goals to like reassess them?
It just goes as like while you're working towards them, if you need more time or something, because you should be having a plan written down before all this.
Kind of like a timeline.
Exactly, like when you create a goal, you should be creating a plan of what you're going to do every day, every week, what should be accomplished, every month, what should be accomplished, and a time frame of when that goal should be completed. So if one day you're behind a certain amount of time, go back and change it in your book, in your diary, that, hey, I need an extra week, or
Right.
I need an extra month. Or if it's not going towards plan, write that down and say, this is why. So I'm going to need more time. I'm going to find different resources.
Where do you cross the line into always like procrastinating? Say like, yeah, serious things do come up. Obviously, you're going to stretch the deadline for your goals. But say if you keep extending them, how are you going to like stop that? Like, do you have to have specific goals and say if I don't meet it by then, obviously I'm not committed to it, or what?
Exactly. That's the biggest thing is your goals and your career should be your passion.
Right.
So there shouldn't really be procrastination.
Right.
If there is, then you got to reassess, is this something I truly want? Is this something I truly am going for? Because if you keep procrastinating, then I honestly don't think that is your true passion, that you don't really want it.
Right. So the drive comes from you, and it's something that should be there when you need to seek like that justification, like that should be within you. You shouldn't have to like grind it out always.
Yes, and you're not going to like every aspect of your passion or like
Of
your
course.
goal, but the end goal should be making you want, no matter what, even
Right.
if it's something you don't like, you know you have to go through it.
So a lot of preparation goes towards consistency.
Exactly. Like everything's written down, everything's a mental process. You always got to review it, and it's just working towards the end product.
Yeah, more preparation, the easier things get. It gets into a habit, into your schedule, and then it's less like overall work towards your goal. Maybe meaning that it's less stressful.
Exactly. Like when you have everything written down, when you have preparation, it eases your mind. You're not always constantly thinking. Like before, I always used to, my mind used to race and race and race, trying to
Right.
think of different things of what I want to do, when
Right.
I need to do that. But now I just jot everything down. At the end of the day, I look at my notes and reorganize them where they need to go.
Yeah. So, what would you say? Like the main concept of being consistent is it like preparation, or is it having the proper goal, or is it a combination of things?
I'd say it's a combination of both those things. It's having that proper passion towards that goal. So you have to be wanting to do what you're going for.
And that'll help with the preparation. You're gonna
Exactly.
want to
Then
do
you're
it.
going to want to prepare for it, and you're going to do whatever it takes to get there.
Yeah, I've been learning some of the stuff in school is especially with kids, how do you keep them engaged in school, and that's like drawing from their interests and setting goals that matter to them. So
Exactly. Like I was saying last podcast, is that in high school and stuff, you're not, or sorry, radio show.
yeah,
Referring
same
to
thing.
my podcast.
You're getting too modern.
But like I was saying, in high school and stuff, you're forced to do topics that you don't want to. So that's why they're not engaged in it. But in university teachers allow you to expand. If you at most courses, a teacher says, if you have your own idea for an essay, you can come talk to me and we can discuss if it's appropriate for the class.
Yeah.
And that's how it should be, because then you're engaged in that. You want to do that.
Mm-hmm. And I don't think that should be restricted to age. Like just because students may be younger, even in elementary school, taking that freedom of choice away can also discourage them.
Exactly. It's like athletes. When I've read a lot of articles and topics that if you're a father or a mother and you force your child into a certain sport when they're really young, they end up hating that sport when they grow older, because
Right.
they were forced into that, and you just keep pressuring them and pressuring them and pressuring them. That's why the best thing is to let them try everything out.
Yeah.
And whatever they excel at, try leaning them towards that way, but don't force it.
Right.
But lean them towards that way, and if they're not going that way, let them pick what they want, because they're going to have fun with, say you're forcing your kid into basketball, but he enjoys soccer.
Right.
He's going to try harder at soccer.
Of course.
So it's just, you got to expand and let everyone try.
Oh, I just recognized a theme while we were talking here is kind of like guidance. So some people need guidance, particularly younger people, when they don't have that focus or that long-term projection for goals. They might need someone's guidance, and I feel like that could still be the same for any person of any age. Like, sure, you might have an end goal, but you're not willing to work at it. You need to break it down, make smaller goals, and then maybe have somebody else give you their opinion about you. about what you're doing and offer you some guidance or advice, especially from experts that have done similar things.
Exactly. Don't be scared of however old you are. You might be 20, you might be 50, but you can always ask for help.
What if I'm 80, Bryce?
Then, hey, that doesn't matter. There's always time to improve, no matter what. Till you're completely gone from this earth, you always can improve. Don't be scared because you're age to get help from other people. And like my friends, that you're included, that
Nice.
we
I'm
have
Bryce friends. You hear that?
that we
All those people out there saying I don't have friends. Bryce is my friend.
But like we meet once a week, right?
Yeah.
For a mastermind group. We call it a mastermind alliance, where we discuss our goals. We talk about our goals, and if people have suggestions, you throw them out. You talk about them. You see if you want to collaborate together, and it's just a great time to everyone to help each other.
Yeah, and I would like to comment on that. That has been like such a beneficial group for me, being as I created my vision board, which was short and long-term goals. And I also did a budget plan monthly, so I understood where I was spending too much money and where I need to save money. Those are things that I always had in the back of my mind. Oh, I should do that. But like, put it down on paper. We write these things down, and we commit to each other verbally and through our phones and social media. Like, we're doing this. Let's hold each other accountable.
That's what it comes down to. When you tell other people your ideas or goals, they hold you accountable. If they're true friends, and if you have that bond, they're going to hold you accountable, and that's how you grow as a team. That's how you grow as an individual, and that's just how you grow in general.
Okay, so we're going to take another break with some music here. We'll talk about support when we come back, how you can support your friends with their goals, or maybe how align your goals and work together towards something. We'll take a break here quickly. We'll see you when you get back. I'm back here with Bryce Dhillon. Hello, Bryce.
Hey, you got my name right first time.
Oh, I'm on a roll. All right, so we're back here talking to Bryce about support, aligning your goals with the friends of yours, and kind of keeping each other consistent that way. So holding each other accountable. Do you need like a mastermind alliance group to do this sort of thing? Is it required to kind of meet once a week? Like, obviously you advise it, but is it required?
It's not required, but I really, really do advise it. Like, you're going to meet your friends, you meet them at least like once every 2 days, and you hang out and do play video games or go to a movie. Why not go out for a breakfast and have a meeting, or just go have a study group at school? It's pretty easy to do, so why not just block out an hour of your week and meet with your friends and it's all business and ideas. It's not go there and talk about how your weekend was, how you went out and partied or anything like that. Block out that time and make sure we're going to talk about business ideas, goal ideas, anything around improving ourselves.
So this is kind of like almost using your free time for constructing new ideas, new goals, rather than sitting around watching TV.
Exactly. It's just a time to improve yourself. So anything it can be like a relationship if that's what you're having issues with. Anything that's holding you back.
So it doesn't have to be career driven?
No, and it doesn't. That's what it should be. But if your relationship is going bad and you need some advice, you can bring that up as well. But anything that's holding you back from improving as a person can get brought up.
That's good to know. Like, maybe a lot of people are satisfied with their goals, and you don't always have to be looking for the next thing. Like, some people might be on the right track already, and they're saying, what do I get out of these things? So you can use it for relationship wise, or maybe you can set out time to go make some more friends rather than sitting at home. Get out of the house, give yourself actual time to improve on something that you like to improve on. It doesn't have to be a particular goal. Maybe you want to learn something new, like juggling or the Rubik's Cube, something novel like that, but set out the time. Don't just say I'll do it when I do it, because honestly a lot of people won't. There's not a lot of people out there that will just be like, oh yeah, it's I feel like doing it this time. Like, try to be consistent by scheduling it and allocating the proper time.
Exactly. And if you've accomplished your goal, go out and help out the other people in your group. That's what you're there for, right? So if you accomplish something, show how you accomplished it, right?
Bring that knowledge back.
You learned something, so now give it back to your group of friends. Show them how you got there. and they can take that and then they can go apply it to whatever their goal is, right? Everyone, you should always be learning, no matter what. That should be from your friends, from reading, from everything, from courses, everything type of that. And you should always be trying to improve.
All right. So another thing I want to discuss is plateaus, meaning like kind of hitting the wall. Classic example is that marathon runner who trains and trains, but no matter what, they hit that 10-kilometer wall and they just stop. Their body can't do it. Like that's a physical representation, but what about mental? Like say you're studying and you just can't solve this problem, or you have this difficulty in your life and you just hit it and you can't see any way around it. Like I'm guessing these like constructed, scheduled meetings with friends or even just with yourself, like having that debriefing time, that can help.
Yeah, get help. That's the biggest thing that people are always scared to do, is trying to ask for help. If you can't solve a problem in, say, a course,
right,
go ask someone that has solved it. Go ask your teacher. Don't be scared to go ask for certain help from different people. And from other type of plateaus, I would say is track your progress.
Okay.
So you can look back and see what was working back then and why it's not working now, and make an adjustment to why it's not working.
How do you track? Like, are you talking about spreadsheets or like journal or what?
Journal or spreadsheet or a little notepad. So take working out as a situation.
Okay.
You're continuously adding weight. You're building, say, a bench press.
Mm-hmm.
You started off as 30 pounds. You're slowly moving up to 40 pounds, 50 pounds, but then you get stuck at 60 pounds.
Yeah.
Check why. Is my diet not good enough? Am I not consuming enough calories to add mass on?
Not sleeping enough?
Exactly. Track your sleep, everything. Look back, and that's if you're tracking that, you can check. Hey, maybe I got 6 hours of sleep. That's why it's not going up.
Right.
So maybe I should get 8 hours of sleep. Continuously track your progress, so then you can look back and make adjustments.
So it's kind of like a prevention matter, almost like it's very useful how that documented, and you can go back and reference to it, and like it's going to solve a problem in the future that you might not be able to acknowledge.
Exactly. You should always be tracking everything, so then you have that base of what was working, what's not working, what you can change, because you're seeing it physically. It's in front of you.
Right.
It's written in words. It's not in your head. So say if you have a bad day at the gym, you can write that down in your diary, in your journal, and say, hey, I didn't eat before I went to the gym. That's why I was weaker that day. And then and don't be scared to ask for help.
Yeah, don't just dismiss
ask someone
it.
You see at the gym, hey, how can I improve my bench press? Is my form good?
Yeah.
If they're bigger than you, they've obviously worked at it.
Yeah.
So don't be scared to ask.
You're a pretty big guy. I know the listeners can't see it, but this guy's like at least 6'8", and he's like 250
I wish I'd be in the NBA if I was 6'8".
Oh, you play basketball, do you?
I did.
Yeah. All right, cool. Well, say I hit a plateau, but it doesn't have to do with like particular environmental settings. Like it's not something I've done. It's just like I don't have the capability. Like maybe I've reached a limit to a point. Can I break through a limit? Like, is it possible?
If you get help, and if you have a business,
right,
hire someone that masters in that. So
okay.
Kevin O'Leary, I've always heard him say is, I'm not the smartest guy at everything, so I hire the smartest guys to do what I can't do.
Okay.
So say if you have a company or say if you're a radio, and say you're on radio and you're not good at a certain aspect of it. Like,
hey, what are you trying to insinuate here?
I'm just using that as general. Hire someone that's good at the editing.
Right.
Hire someone that's good at music. So hire someone that's better than you.
Okay.
And then you can break through that barrier. Otherwise, go to a conference and learn how to break through that. You should always be learning. Read. People don't read enough. And read on things you like. So if you're following your passion in your career, you're going to want to read about it. So go pick up a book, learn. That's the biggest thing. You have to keep learning.
When do you read?
Every morning and every night. Okay,
so kind of like downtimes or starting up. Like, is it pretty habitual now? Like you do it on the regular? Yeah, every day. It's probably been for the past year and a half now, and it's just become a habit. It's every morning. Morning's only a chapter because it's a bit. You're always busy, so I try getting a chapter in, and then nighttime is as long as I want to read. That's probably better than being on your phone. Like I know I do quite a bit of that stuff.
Yeah, I used to be exactly like that. And then your mind's always racing, thinking of, and half the time you're on Instagram or Facebook or whatever it is.
Hey, how do you know what I'm doing from the NSA or something?
It's what everyone's on, and you don't even notice that. You look at it for 1 second, and then you look at the time, and it's 2 hours later, and it's like I could have been in bed. I could have been sleeping for those 2 hours.
If honestly, one of the best tools I've been using is my brain. It's weird to think about it this way, but think about what you're doing always. Like, it's called conscious moderating. You pay attention to your actions, and you understand. Like you said, you write down your goals. If you catch yourself doing something that you don't think
that's not worth the time.
That's not worth the time. Not focused towards your goal.
Exactly.
You're wasting your time.
Exactly.
Like, yes, there's a point where you have to take your breaks and you have to relax, but maybe you relax with books.
Exactly. I relax with book, and those breaks shouldn't be every day. Like, there should be sometimes a week that you don't get that type of, because before, when I was in high school or I was in first year college, I'd go over to my friend's house and we'd just sit there all day, and like, it was fun. I enjoyed it, but it's not improving yourself. So now if you're sitting there with your friends and just doing nothing, playing video games for 2-3 hours after school, after class, after work, think of what that 3 hours could have helped you towards. Could have helped you open up a business.
I know. I look back in high school and how much I did not do.
Exactly.
I wish I was on the same track right now.
I wish, honestly, if you're in high school and listening to this, take an hour each day after school, do your homework, and I swear you'll be an A+ student.
Yeah.
An hour, that's it. An hour each day.
Honestly, after class, after your day's done, review your notes, reflect on what you learned. Oh man, that will save you so much cramming, so much studying. You'll barely have to do it. Like, honestly, like, obviously there's some genius people out there that never have to do any of this stuff, but for the average Joes like me, I don't know about Bryce, he's pretty smart, he reads books, like, take that time, take that extra little step, put in the work when everybody else is messing around, not doing anything constructive. It'll save you tons of time.
Even in high school, I know you want to go have fun with your friends. You're still young, but that's a time to build those habits. Build those habits, even if it's an hour, just an hour of your day. Focus on the school and reading a chapter of a book that you like. It can be anything, sports, it can be a novel, Harry Potter, anything. Just read for one chapter a day and study or do your homework for an hour, and you will achieve so much more than the average student.
Yeah, I think that's huge. Like, putting in those little incremental times, like a little bit there, instead of like saving it all for the end. I know I'm so bad at that at school. Hopefully my teachers aren't listening, even though they know I do this. I'll save an essay to the last minute possible. You know what, that happened to me recently? I got sick. I wasn't able to do it. That's a late essay. That's what happens. What if I worked on an hour? Since they announced it, you'd be so far done your essay, it's ridiculous.
Exactly, and it would be so much better because you would continuously keep reading it and editing it. Then you can give it to your friend. Yeah,
you give it to your professor. They would take it. If you show initiative on things, people will help you out. They're showing that you want to make that effort and you're actually committed to something.
Exactly, and it's just that's the only way that you're going to become better is just plan ahead and don't let it happen at the end. I used to be the exact same way with tests or anything. Like, I'm not even going to lie, this is probably the best semester I've ever had. Why? Because the first day that I get my course outline, I look when my test is. From that day, I read every chapter that I'm supposed to read from each week, and I've read it. And I don't know how, but that has made the biggest improvement I have ever had in courses. It's just read the chapter that's described, you're supposed to read, and read it, and just take a couple of notes.
Okay, you audience out there, the TRU first, you heard it here from Bryce. He did his readings. Did it pay off,
Well, no,
Bryce?
I would do the readings, but I would do them...
Oh, you'd even review after?
No, I would cram them in all before the test. So say you have...
Are you still doing that now?
No, that's what I'm saying is those 4 weeks leading up, I'd read a chapter a week, and now I'd have the notes from all those, and then when the test is coming, I can review all my notes.
Yeah, so when you get your tests back and you got the A and then the guy beside you got the C+, he's thinking, oh, this guy's so smart, like, or maybe he put in the time.
Exactly. Like,
maybe he put in the work.
I'm no genius at school. Honestly, is my worst aspect of anything that I do outside of outside of business or
Yeah.
anything. So I've always hated going to courses that I never really liked, and then having to write essays and tests.
You know, I said your last name on the radio, so any teachers who are listening to this, that you're hating on
I've
them.
talked to them all, and
Oh, okay.
I've told them that I don't like certain things,
Yeah.
and it's just,
You're a new person now.
yeah, it's not even being a new person. It's just,
What is it?
I have my mind focused on something that I'm 1 A+ in this class, and I'm just gonna have to do what it takes.
Reoriented yourself.
Exactly. I
New
reorganized my
direction.
brain. I changed it, and now
Yeah.
it's just, I want to say plus. It's gonna take this to get it. I have to do the work.
Okay. All right. I'm going into another break. Okay, I'm back here with Bryce, and what did you want to talk about? You brought something up on the break.
I'm just always learning. That you should always be how to learn, like how to try new things. Like reading is a big aspect in that. That you should always be reading different type of topics, reading different type of books.
That's a good way to learn, hey?
It's the best way. Like my
Best
favorite, honestly, my favorite author that everyone should read one book of his is Robin Sharma.
Okay.
And the way he looks at life and expresses life it'll change your way of living. It'll change you spiritually, mentally, every type of way, how to give back.
Yeah, I've read a book that's kind of done the same thing for me, so I can contest to how good reading can be for you. And like not only like if reading text isn't your thing, grab an audiobook
Exactly. Or podcast.
or podcast. Hey,
Podcast, even this radio show. There you go. Anything that's going to expand your knowledge.
this counts as an audiobook, right?
We can make it into an audiobook if you would like.
Oh yeah. There's another thing. And like you were saying, say yes to new opportunities. What about making an audiobook from this?
I will say yes to
I
that.
think this needs to be touched up, but I think it could be done. Each show could be an episode or a chapter. I'm
Yeah.
digging it, man.
But yeah, like I was saying, read and then try different authors, try different books, and then
See what you like. Because
Exactly.
you're not always going to pick something up and like,
No, and that's the thing that people are always scared. Like when you buy a book, I have to finish it till the end. No, you don't. If you read 2 chapters in and you're not interested in it, put it down. Go try a new book. Don't be forcing yourself so 6 months later you're still on that same book because you don't like it.
Right.
If you read it, it's just a book. Put it down. Go find another book that you like. Don't be forced to that book just because you bought it and you're forced like, hey, I have to read this book. So that,
maybe ask some people.
yeah, and find people that have same interests as you, and then ask what type of books they are. Like if you like motivation or if you like spiritual,
Yeah.
I would say Robin Sharma. If you like just business or something, Kevin O'Leary. There's
Yeah.
different type. Like find out different type of people, and go find their books they've written. Most people that you think are famous or
Yeah.
celebrities or have accomplished stuff have books.
Yeah.
So say you like Apple and all their products, go read the Steve Jobs book.
Yeah.
Different things like that.
I read that. Give me credit. I listened to the audiobook. It was kind of, yeah.
So you didn't read it, but
I got the content and the concept.
yeah, but that's
That
not.
guy was not a nice person, by the way. That's one thing I want to focus on. Like, yeah, these big celebrities or these historical figures, they've done well in history, but doesn't mean they're a perfect person. Doesn't mean you have to model yourself after that. But like each success, something went right. So
Take a certain thing from each person that you
Yeah.
look up to. You don't have to, like Steve Jobs wasn't a nice person. Don't take that aspect of him.
yeah,
Take Tony Robbins, for example. When he was broke and he had $5 in his pocket, he saw a little boy walking into a diner with his mother, and he was all dressed up. He pulled out the seat for his mother, and Tony Robbins was so touched that this 5-year-old boy had more morals than most 20-year-old men
yeah,
that he gave him that $5, his last $5, and was like, treat your mother for lunch.
yeah,
And it just shows you, like, take their, like, that touched me. That I still remember that story, and I heard that a year ago, and that, like, things like that. That's what I want to take from Tony Robbins, is that even if I'm not making the most amount of money, I want to give back to other people that show that they care about people.
Yeah, like those who have less always give more.
Exactly, and that's another great thing I got from Tony Robbins is, if you're poor and you're not willing to give 10% or a certain, like, say if you have $1 and you're not willing to give 10 cents to another homeless man or another homeless woman, when you're rich, don't think you're going to do anything different.
Yeah, everyone always says when I get money, things are going to change.
It's from inside you.
It starts.
If you're willing to do that when you're poor, you're willing to do it when you're rich. If you're not willing to do it when you're rich. And it doesn't have to be money. If you don't have all the money, go volunteer, give your hours, give your experience, go help out. That, like, just things like that. And that's a big thing that I value myself on, is that I always want to give back. I'm planning on opening up a school in Africa or in a impoverished country.
Right.
And that's a big thing that I want to do. And it's going to take a lot of work, but that's something that motivates me. It's something that I want to do. I want to help people that don't have the ability or the resources that we do in this world. Like, we are lucky. If you're listening to this radio, you're lucky because you have a radio. You have a car radio. You have a radio at home. And that is more than what about 30-40% of the people in the world don't have. Is that people are walking 10 miles for water, things like that. And that's just, you got to put that into perspective.
Yeah, take the opportunities you have, make them worthwhile.
Exactly, and always be grateful. Give back, give your time. If you can, give your money. Always be willing to give back.
If you can't give your money, give your time.
Give your time.
Do it.
That's the thing, yes, exactly.
Everybody has some time to give.
You can always make an hour of charity a week.
Honestly, it seems like hard work, or like seems like other people are willing to do it. Step up, give some time back to your community, and, like, honestly, the joy you bring other people, it'll come back. Like, I'm a big guy on karma. I'm not a Buddhist. I just think what you put out is what you get back.
Exactly, and that's where your opportunity can come from as well. If people see you giving back, they're going to want to invest in you.
Right.
They're going to see, hey, this guy cares about other people. He's not caring about just himself. So let's invest in his business. Let's invest in his company. Yeah. Let's invest in them.
Or even just, like, maybe not even business oriented. Invest in the person themselves. Like a lot of people will, the experts or community figures, they'll be able to give you their advice, and they can become some sort of mentor to you. And then that's where it comes in. Like, the more you spread out your word and you give back to the community, the more community leader members will see you, and they'll be willing to talk to you about some things maybe you need advice in.
Exactly, and always look for people that you want to be your mentor, and ask them. Don't be scared to ask them, hey, I see you're doing great things right now. Can we meet once a week and just talk? I want to pick your brain. I want to learn things from you. So let's just meet for coffee, 15 minutes a day, because they're probably busy if they're successful, and I just want to pick your brain, and that's a great way to learn as well.
Bryce?
Yeah.
Will you meet with me once a week?
I gladly will.
Okay, thanks. I appreciate that.
But
I need some help with the radio show.
Well, I can't help you there. That's your aspect.
Okay. Well, I'm running the switchboard, so it's all good.
But another thing I would say is, for how to improve on learning, is take courses.
Right.
So go to different courses. Like, if there's a course on, like you're saying, radio, go to a radio course. I'm guaranteed there's something
there's
online.
a lot of free service, especially online. Like, utilize, like, YouTube is a great example. There's so much bad and garbage content out there that you can just waste your brain on, and you'll just go on, like, neutral for days on that stuff. Look at good news sources. Look at lessons, like videos on something you want to learn. There's a lot of tutorials online.
Exactly. Like, I can guarantee you, right now, if you clicked on how to do the switchboard as you're doing, there's probably 1,000 great videos that will exactly show you how to do it.
You know how many people learn guitar or piano off of YouTube? Tons. Like, the resources are out there, use them. Exactly.
And even if it's not free, it's investing in yourself. So it's going to pay off later in life. So even if it's going to put you in $200 in debt to go to the course, think about it as in the long run that it's going to be investing towards that end goal. It will pay off.
Yeah, I agree. So we're going to take another break here, and we'll check back with you for the last bit of the show. and we're back with Bryce. Bryce let me know during the music that we kind of got off topic there at the end. For those listeners who's been since the beginning, yeah, we were talking about how to be consistent. It kind of went off to almost like how to be, how to like set goals, how to achieve, how to give back to your community. But honestly, I think a lot of these things can tie into itself.
It all ties into it. Everything we talk about ties into the end product, end goal. So it's all okay. It doesn't really matter.
It's not a huge issue.
Not at all.
What else do you want to talk to the audience about?
I would just say saying yes to everything. Not everything, but things that are going to help you improve or grow. Say yes to them. So, like, say this radio station.
Yeah, I came to you with this idea.
Yeah, you asked me,
opportunity.
Hey, do you want to talk on this radio station? And I'm not even going to lie, probably about a year ago, I would say absolutely not. I'm uncomfortable with it. I do not want to be in front of a microphone talking. But I changed that mindset, and as soon as you came to the idea, I don't even think you finished the idea. I just said, hey, do you want me on? Sure.
Sign me up.
Yes, I don't care how many episodes or if it's one episode or whatever. Just, yes, I will try it. I don't care if I mess up. Don't be scared to mess up. So try new things.
If you ever become famous and you get like one of those signature audiobooks that everyone has, can you please start at chapter 1? Nolan Chapman asked me to help host on his radio show. Can you start it there?
I will say no when they have the beginning where they say thank you to these
Oh,
people.
okay. Acknowledgements.
Yes.
I get an acknowledgement. Okay.
I'll say thank you.
I'll take what I can get.
I'll say thank you, Nolan Chapman.
Okay, I'll take it. So, being consistent, driving home, how to record what's going on, goal set, write them down. It can be a vision board. It can be a journal. Like, there's many things to utilize. But the main thing is get it down concretely. Like, don't just hold it in your head. I know there's tons of things I used to hold in my head. Now I have a dry erase board posted on my door before I leave my room saying all the things. I have like a little housekeeping list where are little things I can do at home. There's long-term goals, and then there's like weekly goals, something I need to get done on a particular day. And then they're most of the time they're associated with the long-term goals on my vision board, something like a long-term goal that I can gradually work towards.
Exactly. And to be consistent, block out a time each day. This is the time I'm going to do this every day.
I like that idea, how you read every day, like morning and night. It's like a lot of people are busy during the day, but like morning and night, like you wake up a little bit earlier or read during breakfast.
That's the biggest thing. People wake up 30 minutes before work, school, then they're rushing. Yeah. They're half asleep. That's another thing that I learned from Robin Sharma is join the 5 a.m. club. It sucks. It's hard for the first week, 2 weeks, but once you are up, it is the best thing in the world. When I'm done my morning routine of reading, prayer, everything, people are still sleeping. Even when I go to the gym in the morning, people are still sleeping.
People are probably sleeping at the gym, so we're
Some people are, but I'm done. What most people won't do is go to the gym or a morning routine. I write my book in the morning. And even when I'm done all that, people are still just waking up. And I accomplish more in that.
You feel accomplished, eh?
Yeah.
It kind of gives you that like self-fulfillment or something.
It does. And that 4 hours was spent while other people are sleeping. I was working. They say is if you're sitting there or if you're sleeping, there's someone out there that's doing the exact same thing, but they're working.
Don't burn it at both ends, though. Like, Bryce wakes up early in the morning. You say, I can do that too. Bryce is also not playing on his phone for 2 hours before he goes to bed. He's sleeping.
I am sleeping. I set that out, that I make sure that I'm sleeping. Like, as you can see on my Snapchat, sometimes I'm in bed at 9 p.m. And I get messages like, hey, why are you going to your grandpa? So I'm a grandpa, but my goals are going to be done 10 times because when I'm sleeping and you're up at 9 p.m. still on your phone, I'm sleeping and I'm waking up at 5 a.m.
I got Bryce beat, though. I don't sleep. I'm a vampire. Just work all night long.
If you can do that, great. But
don't do that.
You could probably crash as well.
Well, you crash so hard. I'm joking, guys. Don't do that out there. Like, yeah, there's some times where you need to cram for a test or do your essay or, like, there's some things that need to get done. Don't make it a habit.
No, that's a big thing, too, that everyone says sleep is for the weak.
Oh, no.
There is days...
My dad would have something else to say about that. I asked him, hey, Dad, what's your favorite pastime? Sleeping. He's like, okay, time for bed. Dad, it's 7 p.m. at night. No, I'll just wake up earlier.
No, but there is a certain, sometimes if you're working on a business or if you're working on a goal, that there is going to be late nights that you might only get 4 hours of sleep, 3 hours of sleep. But don't use that as an excuse of I'm on my phone till 1 a.m. and then I'm waking up at 6 a.m. and then saying that sleep is for the week. If you're working on your goals and it requires you to make sure that that day you can't sleep that much, then yes. But if you can fit in the sleep, you can. So fit it in and then work like that. Like some people don't need that much sleep. Like some people just get accustomed to it for some reason. Like my mom, she works 2 jobs still to this day. She goes to bed at probably 11 p.m. and wakes up at 2:30, 3 a.m. and then goes to work. And it's,
Does
I don't
she
know.
have naps?
No, I don't know how she functions. But the weird thing is when she comes home from work in the afternoon at 5 p.m., she has energy. And then she's cooking.
making dinner.
Yeah, she's cooking dinner. And I don't get how she functions. Like I look at her sometimes like, are you a robot?
Yeah.
But she's like, no, I just her body just wakes up at 3 a.m. and then she goes to work.
I feel like that's something you have to unlock in your brain. Like
it is.
Something like where you can't afford to sit down on the couch and be lazy. Like
it's a mindset.
Consistent.
Yeah, and that's what it is. And you customize, you train your body. That's what it is too. Like all these people that you see on TV that are doing these crazy, like David Blaine, the magician.
Oh my gosh.
Like some of the things he does, he trains his mind and body for those.
Yeah, so it's doable. You just got to push it.
It is. So say you go to bed at 11 p.m. and wake up at 8 a.m. Scale it back an hour.
Yeah.
Go to bed at 11 p.m., wake up at 7 a.m. Once your body gets accustomed to that, roll it back another hour, wake up at 6 a.m. And keep doing that till your body gets accustomed to it. And then you'll be waking up at 5 a.m. Like now when I wake up, it's normal. Like my body's almost at the point where my eyes always wake up before my alarm clock goes off.
This guy's like instant wake up. Like eyes open, no zombie mode, just like straight to, he's reading.
And take everything out of your bedroom. I have no TV, nothing. And the only thing I have is...
Smart man right there.
I took my TV out probably about 3 years ago, and it made the biggest difference. Use your bedroom as a place to sleep. The only thing I have in there is...
Yes. Oh, dude, what a revolutionized idea.
Honestly, some people, they have their office, they have their computer, they have their TV, and it's like, it's just a place to everything. Like, people eat in their bedroom. I don't get it. But
hey, I eat in my bedroom, but there's specific circumstances I need to.
Sometimes you have to, but... take every electronic out. Only thing I have is my phone, and even for my phone, to get my body to used to waking up, because I used to just
put it on the other side of the room.
Other side of the room. That's another big thing, because once you stand up, you're awake.
Yeah,
it's just standing up. That's the biggest, hardest part.
Like I don't know if this is for everybody. For myself, like when I'm super tired in the morning and it's hard to get up, and I try to like press the snooze button, like 15 more minutes. That 15 minutes is gonna kill you when you try to wake up again. Like wake up. When you want to wake up.
Yeah, you're more groggy. That's why I put it across your room. Once you stand up, I can guarantee you'll be awake.
Set the coffee maker to automatic at a certain time, or at least walk there, start brewing it. Like if you need that caffeine drug in the morning, or you need to do something specific, like start cooking breakfast so you get hungry, you're not going back to bed. Kind of make these like these measures.
Rituals.
Yeah, rituals, and then you'll stay consistent. Like these will start being habits.
And when you do wake up late, like if I ever wake up at 7 or 8 a.m., I feel like
bad.
I feel so bad.
So bad.
I feel like I wasted my whole day.
I wake up, like sometimes I have a super hard week and I'm like, I'm not setting an alarm. Sometimes I do sleep like pretty late, but like maybe I'll wake up at 8. I slept in like 1 hour or 2 hours. I wake up at 8. I'm like, no, I can go back to bed. I can afford it. Sleep till 10, another 2 hours. Feel like trash.
Yeah. And
can't go to bed at night at all.
You feel like you didn't accomplish anything. You wasted your whole day. Like if I don't do my morning routine anymore,
unfulfilled.
I feel horrible. And it's just... That's how I train my body. I train my mind that now if I don't do that, I don't want to go throughout the rest of the day not accomplishing something. So it's just have that morning routine. And another great tip in the morning is instead of coffee, I know people like their coffee, try squeezing a lemon into a glass of water. It wakes you right up. It's good for you. It helps your immune system.
That's if you have good teeth. If you have bad teeth, that's going to wreck your enamel. Just to let you know, there's safety here.
You should be having good teeth, though. You should be brushing every morning and night and flossing. Yeah. But that's another topic.
So let's end on that. So this episode of Talk is Cheap on CFBX 92.5 DX. Last thing we talked about is floss. All right, guys. We'll end on that. Thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.
Have a great day, guys.
That's from Bryce.